Armed and ready.
Alright, so part of my 30-day WoW project, I decided I was going to make some videos, which has been... That's been a huge break for me. I haven't made a video in so long, but I decided that part of my project would be the leveling process. I have a Horde alt, and I'm starting a new Fresh 90 alt. That way I can talk through all the new stuff, or how I treat new characters that I have no idea what I'm doing with, because I started a warrior, and the highest I've ever had a warrior is I think 66. So there's going to be a lot of spells that I don't even know I have right now, and it's just going to be me going through the process of learning all that. So I just started it, and we're going to get right into it. This is what you see when you first log in, for anyone that's got it a boosted 90 of any sort, whether you bought it or you got it for free when you bought the Warlords of Draenor expansion. As soon as you log in with your new character, whatever you picked, this is what you're going to get. If you had any other gear beforehand, if you got a boosted 90, all your old gear will be mailed to you, so you can decide what you want to keep and not keep, if you have anything on there that you wanted to keep for transmog or anything like that. Abilities, if it's fresh, you go through the Tanan jungle, which is the zone that we're going to be going through as soon as we go through the portal there that you can see in the background. As soon as we go through the portal, we'll start learning abilities. It's kind of like the tutorial area, but not really. We're just going to be getting more of our spells as we go. So for you that are fresh 90s that don't know what exactly is going on, you aren't overloaded with a bajillion spells right off the bat. You'll learn them slowly, and you have what you need to get by in this starting area. And if you are a boosted 90 and you bought it, you are put right here, right where you have to be. You just talk to Khadgar, who's off there to the side with the light shining down on him. But as soon as you hit the start quest, you'll be able to talk to him and start the cinematic to go through the portal. And so without further ado, let's get this started. Alright, so as soon as you hit the Start Quest Now button on that first opening message, you're going to get this pop-up, and it's just a basic, here's where you go and how you start the Dark Portal, get into Warlords of Draenor. So we're going to click Accept, or it accepts it automatically for you and brings it up, but what you have to do is you have to speak to Khadgar, who's right over here, the big tall guy with the staff. And once you click on that, he is going to be watching the portal, and when you click on For Azeroth, it's going to start the cinematic right away. So this is where, if you want to play around with anything not at Warlords of Draenor, then I suggest you do it before you click on that, because once you get through there, it just starts the whole intro for Warlords, so it takes a little bit to get through it before you can go back. But we are going to click it, and I'm going to let the cinematic play so everybody can enjoy the epicness. If you haven't played yet and you do not want to see the cinematic, I suggest you skip through. So, spoilers.
For Azeroth. This is our chance! Storm the portal!
Alright, so once you're done looking at that epic cinematic, you get put into the other side of the Dark Portal, and we have to talk to Khadgar again. We'll turn into our basic quest. And we get the Last Stand quest, which is the first quest when you're through the Dark Portal. And what you have to do with this quest is you have to kill one of these grunts down there, and what'll happen is they will drop a note, which this note then allows you to complete the quest and move on. So we'll accept that.
We're all counting on you, hero.
Now, this is where you get a basic feel for how your abilities work. Since we just have to kill one of these, they're busy attacking other things, so you can just practice using your abilities on some of these. I would suggest, if you're not sure what your 3 abilities or however many abilities Blizzard started you with, just go ahead and play around with them and see what they do. I would suggest hovering over the ability as well. That'll bring up a tooltip that you can read on the bottom right-hand side of your screen. And once you kill one of these guys, just go ahead and loot them and pick up the missive. Now, the one thing that happens here is you don't have to go back to Khadgar to turn that in. You can just turn it in on your screen there when it pops up on the side, and you can move on. And in here, we just have to. The next part is to destroy 2 towers that are off to the side here. Once you go down the stairs, and you can see them a little bit there off in the corner. Now, once we accept that, what you can do is you can mount up, and that is this button right here on the bar, and that will be, if you're a fresh thing like bot 90, that'll be your mount button. So you go off to the side here. We'll just go off to the right and follow the fire, which will lead you right into the building that you need to go into. And all you need to do is click on the rock in the middle. But what Blizzard did is, since Warlords, they highlighted everything and made everything more easily distinguishable to be important. So if something's important, whether it's a quest or something you can find in the open world, it will highlight like this, and your cursor will change when you hover over it. So you'll know it's usually important. So we're going to click on that. That releases Cho'Gall, who is a little crazy. And we're going to leave. And we're just going to mount up again. And high ho silver all the way to the other side. To the other tower. Now, like I said before, if you want, just play around with your abilities still if you're still not comfortable with them, with all those random minions that you can just kill. But once we continue on and we go into this second tower, it's the same thing. There's a rock in the middle that we have to destroy. And once we destroy this, Tarangor, I think that's how you pronounce his name anyway, he will drop down. And now, after he spouts off his threats and thanks, we leave, and I believe we have to turn this in. Now, we actually have to go back to Khadgar to turn it in, so we can mount up, and on our way.
The intruders are freeing our prisoners! Stop them! There is much we can
Okay. Now, for this, the next quest is going to offer us 2 rewards. It might be less or more depending on the class you boosted. But if you are a fresh bot 90, then whatever is available in here is most likely better than what you already were given to start. So the basic thing that you want to look for is when you hover over the items, you will see quite a bit of green. And the green means that they are upgrades, and, well, that the stats on them are being upgraded. If you see red, they're being downgraded, but you just want to make the decision yourself of, usually if there's more green, it's usually an upgrade, and it would be safe to assume that you can use that item. But now that you've gotten a brief overview of that, we'll go ahead and we will accept this quest. Now, once again, just take a note of the stat changes on the right hand side, because it will show you on the left what you're replacing, and then it will show you on the right what is being replaced and the stat changes between those. So you can see the one item that I'm offered is individually better than both of my weapons. That's why it's all green in the stats that are being changed at the bottom of those tooltips. So that's what you can look for to try to help you make the decision of whether or not gear is better. Now, you have to keep in mind, or you'll notice along the way, that certain items, one-hander to two-hander, have different stats just because two-handers are simply bigger. So they usually have more stats on them. But that differs all the way through the game, but you'll notice that as you're playing through it. So just take your time, and once you're looking through it, whenever you're comfortable, that's when you can click accept and move on to the next part. And the next part, you can just run off to the side and drop down, and there will be a doorway on the side of this terrace. And you'll get to see Gul'dan and meet him. Lots of skulls. Way too many skulls. But once you go in here, there's more stones to destroy. Yay! Jump for joy. So just go around the room and destroy these stones. And once you destroy them, it'll unlock another thing that we can interact with that will allow us to unlock and free Gul'dan, which should kill the portal. So we'll run up here, and when you look under Gul'dan, on the floor will be something that you can interact with. So just go ahead and click on that, and you'll release Gul'dan. And he'll spout off his thanks after he tells you that everyone's dying, and the portal closes. Now once he leaves, you just gotta run back up to Khadgar to start the next part, which is escaping into the jungle. Because at this point, since we closed down the portal, and how the story goes, or how they're trying to make the questing work, is that we're stranded on this side of the portal, because not everyone has a Hearthstone. But we'll go ahead and we'll pick our rewards that we want. Now this next part, when we accept this and we follow Khadgar out and away from this fight and run away, now we're going to start earning abilities. And the abilities here are listed next to that leaf. And I believe it's a couple abilities. It's two. It's Execute and Victory Rush. So once we get those two abilities, we'll take a look at them and we'll get to see how they work as well. So once you accept that, we have to run away, so we're just going to follow the group.
Great sacrifice be in vain.
And you just follow. And this entire time when you're running after Khadgar, you can just admire how badass of a mage he is. I would enjoy my mage a lot more if he could do this.
In here.
And just one-shot things. Just over and over. Just over and over. But once you get into this house, they will eventually reset, and you'll be able to turn in. And once you turn in, you'll get those buttons automatically put on your bar. And the next quest will pop up, which is Blaze of Glory. And after reading through this, you'll see that you have to use an item to burn down bleeding hollow orc huts. So you got to burn down these orcs' houses. And if you do so, you get gear. And I believe once you leave this, there'll be 2 more quests outside. But we'll go ahead and take a look at the gear here. And the gear itself is obviously an upgrade. There's not a single red on that. So it's obviously an upgrade, so yay. As soon as we get this, we get new pants that are better. So once everything starts, they will go through their dialogue, which is actually nice to listen to. So I would suggest taking a listen to it, because it does help the story, and it does, when you get in, when you concentrate on it, helps you get into the questing, and it's not such a grindy feel if you just enjoy the story, because Blizzard's like the best storytellers ever.
Please help.
So we'll come out here, grab these 2 quests. This guy's just dying, and he wants you to free people. It's because he was a slave and he was being tortured, so he wants the other slaves to be freed. So off in the distance there, you see a cage. When we accept this quest, that will glow, and when it's glowing, like I said before, it's important, and that's how you know that you can click on it and it's for your quest. And this one, she's upset that this Draenei died, so she just wants you to get revenge on his behalf. So we just got to kill lots and lots of orcs, including that Hulk motherfucker walking in the background there. So once we get all that, we'll go ahead and accept this as well. And now you'll see that their names turn red, so you know that they're important to kill as well. And now from here, we're just gonna kill some orcs, and we'll get into that in the next video and continue on escaping the grasp of the Iron Horde. Thanks for watching, guys.